Ever just stop and wonder why we have day and night? Or, why we get freezing cold winters and then beautiful sunny summers? Well, it's all because our planet is locked in this constant cosmic dance out in space. So, let's dive in and see exactly how these movements create the world we live in.
But first, I've got a question for you. Right now, wherever you're sitting or standing, just look around. Does it feel like anything's moving? Like the ground beneath your feet? I'm gonna bet the answer is a big no.
And yeah, it totally doesn't feel like it. But here's the wild part. Our senses are completely tricking us. The truth is, our planet is always in motion. It's spinning like a top while it's also zooming through space. And these two movements, they're the reason for the most basic rhythms of our lives.
To really get this, we just need to understand that Earth is basically doing two main things at all times. You can think of it as a daily spin and a much, much longer yearly journey.
This makes it super clear. The first move is rotation. That's just the Earth spinning on the spot, which takes 24 hours and gives us day and night. The second move is revolution. Now that's the big one, the entire 365-day trip around the sun. That's what gives us our year, and as we'll see, our seasons.
So let's zoom in on rotation. It's really that simple daily spin, kind of like spinning a basketball on your finger. Earth does the same thing, just on an invisible line through its center, called an axis. And one full spin takes, you guessed it, about 24 hours. And that's what we call a day.
And now for the other move, revolution. This is the Grand Tour. It's Earth's huge, year-long journey along a set path, or orbit, all the way around the sun. That full loop takes about 365 days, giving us, of course, our year. So let's start with the effect we see, well, every single day, the cycle of light and dark. And this is all thanks to that 24-hour spin we just talked about, rotation.
It's actually a beautifully simple idea. Just imagine a bright lamp in a totally dark room. That's our sun. As our planet spins, the side facing the lamp is lit up. That's daytime. The side facing away is in shadow. That's nighttime. And as we keep spinning, we're constantly moving from the light into the darkness and back again.
So it really just boils down to this simple process. The Earth is always rotating. As it spins, different parts of the globe get their turn to face the sun. And that simple, constant motion is what creates the reliable pattern of day following night everywhere on the planet. All right, so day and night. Check. That's pretty straightforward. But what about the bigger changes, the seasons? Why do we have summer, fall, winter, and spring? Now this one is where things get really interesting, and the real answer might actually surprise you. Let's really think about it. What is actually causing that massive change in temperature? Why do we go from swimming pools in July to heavy coats in January? What's really going on? The first thing most people guess, and it makes perfect sense, is that we must just be closer to the sun in the summer and farther away in the winter. I mean, it's logical, right? You move closer to a campfire, you get warmer. Well, get ready for a shocker, because that logical guess is completely wrong. In fact, for those of us in the northern hemisphere, the Earth is actually at its closest point to the sun in the middle of winter. How weird is that? So it's definitely not about distance.
So if it's not how close we are, then what is it? What's the real reason for the seasons? Well, the entire secret comes down to one simple, powerful word: the tilt.
See, our planet doesn't spin perfectly straight up and down. It's actually tilted over on its axis, leaning at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. It might not sound like much, but that specific little lean is the reason for everything from beach weather to snow days.
And here's how that tilt works its magic. Think of sunlight like the beam from a flashlight. When your part of the Earth is tilted toward the sun, that beam hits us directly. It's a small, focused, intense circle of light. That means more heat. That's summer. But when we're tilted away from the sun, that same beam of light gets spread out over a much wider area. It's less direct, it's weaker. And that gives us winter. It's all about the angle. So as the Earth makes its huge, year-long trip around the sun, that 23.5-degree tilt is always pointing in the same direction out in space. Because of that, there are 4 special moments in our orbit that officially kick off each season. You can see those 4 key points right here in this diagram. We have 2 solstices, which are the points where we're tilted most extremely toward or away from the sun. And then we have 2 equinoxes, which are the halfway points in between. These 4 days are like the 4 cornerstones of the year. A solstice is a day of extremes. The summer solstice happens when our part of the world is tilted as far toward the sun as possible, giving us our longest day of the year.
The winter solstice is the exact opposite. We're tilted as far away as we can get, giving us our shortest day of the year.
And in equinox, that's all about balance. On these 2 days, the Earth's tilt isn't really pointed toward or away from the sun. It's more like it's pointed sideways, so the sunlight hits both the northern and southern halves of the Earth pretty much equally. And the result is really cool. Day and night are almost the exact same length all over the world.
And here's a little trick for remembering that. The word equinox literally comes from Latin words that mean equal night, so the name itself tells you exactly what it is. Pretty cool, right?
So this just sums it all up nicely. For an equinox, think equal. The sun is over the equator, it marks the start of spring and fall, and day and night are balanced. For a solstice, think extreme. The sun is as far north or south as it's going to get, it kicks off summer and winter, and it gives us our longest or shortest day.
So, let's bring it all home. What are the absolute key things to remember? Earth has two big moves: rotation, the 24-hour spin that gives us day and night, and revolution, the 365-day orbit around the sun. But the real secret to the seasons is that constant 23.5-degree tilt combined with our revolution. It's the tilt, not the distance. That's the whole story. So, we've covered the how and the why of Earth's rhythms, but I'll leave you with this to think about. How do these simple motions affect literally everything on our planet? From farmers planting crops, to animals migrating thousands of miles, to the holidays we celebrate. How does this constant, predictable cycle of seasons shape all life on our amazing, tilted, spinning home?